Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, albums, EPs, or singles, and after I listen to them all week, I come back here and I review them. I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release. Agee-He's new single, Wild and Precious Life. Agee-He's new single, Wild and Precious Life, which is kind of a double single when you consider the reception version, which includes the first verse, the bridge, and the chorus to place emphasis on them, but leaves out the second verse for the emphasis of the other parts of the song. Let's dive into it. So I'm mainly just going to give my thoughts on the main version here. Pretty nice song here. Stylistically, it's piano, violin, and drum. And as for the lyrics here, JJ talks about how when her and her husband brought their daughter home, they were nervous, but took a leap of faith and chose to treasure each surprising step of their precious time together, all the way to the moment when their daughter left home to a new life of more surprises of her own. Up next, Martin Smith's new album, Dancing in the Fire. Former Delirious lead singer Martin Smith's new album, Dancing in the Fire. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, alternative worship with some alternative rock and pop rock influences. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here too. Martin talks about how when we're in danger, we can look in praise to the God who in his mercy delivers us out of that trouble. And in his grace and love is with us in every little thing, even at our darkest moments, because he sees the diamond in our wreckage. The closing song, Everyday Life, talks about how we can change everyday life by opening our arms in that love to everyone. Up next, SEU Worship's new album, Walk With You. SEU Worship's new album, Walk With You. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here, even if stylistically, a little bit of a surprising album. I came into this album expecting to hear the pop worship sound I always hear from them. Well, usually hear from them anyways. But instead, this time around, heard a little bit more of a conventional worship sound that incorporated electric guitar, bass guitar, acoustic guitar, piano, and drum. Still a pretty good album though, even with the sound change here. Still sounding good here. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics to this album. The lyrics give all glory to Jesus for how in his never-ending faithful love, as shown through the shedding of his blood on the cross, never lets us go and has chased the sin out of our hearts, no matter how stubborn and sick our hearts were before him. And now that he reigns in our hearts, we are to walk in faith and obedience to the God who loves to use resurrected, broken people to bring the Holy Spirit's word of revival to others, no matter what distractions may come. Up next, Agee-He's new album, When It Hurts, a story by Agee-He. Agee-He's new album, When It Hurts, a story by Agee-He. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here, stylistically. A hip-hop and R&B release with some trap influence, and hints of pop influence as well. And as for the vocal work here, a lot of sing-rapping and singing here. Stylistically and lyrically as well, this album reminds me a lot of Reese Lachey's project, All Love, that she came out with a few weeks ago. Even though I liked Reese's project better, but Zay has a pretty good album as well. And as for the lyrics here, and before I dive into the lyrics here, let me just say I really like the interlude where family and friends give him encouraging words. And now as for the theme of this album, Zay has faith in God's plan for him, even when others don't, but he struggles to believe that God will make a way for someone like him who sins because of his past hurts. But God has forgiven him, and in his perfect timing, brings Zay out of the basement for the purpose of sharing his life-changing message. Up next, our last release for today, former Audio Adrenaline and Stellar Cart lead singer Agee-He and his solo debut album, He Is With You. Former Stellar Cart and Sound of the Saints era Audio Adrenaline lead singer Agee-He's solo full-length debut album, He Is With You. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, it's a mix of pop rock and pop. Really like the sound on this album here. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here too. Adam talks about how even when all feels lost, he rests in the God whose love is with him, satisfies him, and fights for him. And as a result, he does not give up, going wherever God sends him to reach the lost. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what's on this video, please subscribe. I put out videos every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what I may have said about them, let me know that in the comments below. Also in the comments, you can let me know if there's any awesome releases that came out today that you want to see in next week's video. Also, check out the playlist section for my Music Muffin Dreams playlist, available here on YouTube and also on Spotify. This month's edition featuring songs from artists like No Big Deal, Ty Brazel, 116, KB, Andy Mineo, and others. So go and check that out if you're interested. Well, go now. See you next week. Bye!